Okay, I don't want to be the messenger of bad news for people because I know that there are Bernie Sanders supporters who take this very seriously, as I did. I'm a Trump supporter for this very reason. One of the reasons I'm a Trump supporter, the main reason is foreign policy. My article is below. Why Bernie supporters should vote Trump 2020. Read it. You can disagree, agree, but at least you know the path. There's an overlap, big time, from the Trans-Pacific Partnership to peace between North and South Korea to the fact that 5 million Americans have been lifted out of poverty. This is a fact. 5 million Americans have been lifted out of poverty in just, from 2017 to 2018. That's the greatest achievement in terms of people being lifted out of poverty easily in the past 16 years. So that never happened under Bush, and it never happened under President Obama. But we don't know how far back that has been duplicated, but it didn't happen in the past two administrations prior. Unemployment rate went from 12.7% in 2016 to 11.3%. The articles are below from the Census and from USA Today. But in addition to record low Black and Latino unemployment, in addition to the First Step Act, in addition to 300,000 and record low national unemployment and 300,000 plus manufacturing jobs, 300,000 lost in 8 years under President Obama, according to factcheck.org. Whatever, I really don't care if there are Bernie supporters or people on the left who disagree with me. You can disagree. What you can't disagree with is that this is all fabricated. Elizabeth Warren has officially now ended Bernie's campaign. You can say, oh my God, it's hyperbole, da-da-da. I was right in 2016. I was the only person, even on the left, in the Hill, the Huffington Post, and Salon, when I was the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post, and the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post. It wasn't the $20 million venture capital people who Bernie Sanders endorsed and then didn't endorse. He could have won in 2016. He could have defeated Trump. I would have been right had they not cheated Bernie Sanders. And the DNC emails forced Debbie Wasserman Schultz to resign because I guess Russia gave Clinton the popular vote, and they lost swing states because people found out how corrupt they were, and then it was a big Russian plot. Okay. Thank God Trump won because he's a great president, and he fights against a corrupt system. Bernie Sanders got into bed with a corrupt system, and now Elizabeth Warren has basically, this is satire, okay? I'm still with her. This is all for Clinton. And everyone's going to think like I am, just the same way it took people 3-4 years to think like I am. I was always thinking from 2015 until today. Clinton lost. I said she would lose. I was quoted in NPR alongside 538. Guess who was right? They said Clinton, that Trump wouldn't be GOP nominee. I said that Clinton would lose swing states and lose the election. Now I'm telling you that this is all premeditated. There's either one of two things taking place. Again, either one of two things taking place, all for Clinton to become nominee. Either Bernie Sanders is a part of it, and I don't think he is. There's a chance. I'm not holding it past him. Because when you get cheated and you get $200 million siphoned from people who are hardworking, okay, and you don't engage in, you don't even champion the DNC fraud lawsuit, or you don't even acknowledge it. You don't even acknowledge that you were cheated. But anyway, 2016, who knows if, I think Bernie was railroaded, obviously, but was he a part of it? That's a question mark that I never really thought of until recently. Now I'm thinking, is he a part of this? Because Elizabeth Warren, let's just listen to the hot mic. Everything's a hot mic nowadays. The left is desperately trying to relive the DNC emails that happened to them, that exposed their corruption. But here, check this out. Okay, so my setup is not the most technologically savvy, but check it out. This is CNN, the trusted news. The trusted source of news. Okay, so check it out.
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
What?
I think you called me a liar on national TV. Let's not do it right now. You want to have that discussion? We'll have that
Anytime.
discussion. You called me. You told me. All right, let's not do it now.
I don't want to get in the middle. I just want to say hi, Bernie.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Let's listen to this again.
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
What?
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
Let's not do it right now. You want to have that discussion? We'll have that
Anytime.
discussion. You called me. You told me. All right, let's not do it now.
I don't want to get in the middle.
Okay, one last time.
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
What?
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
Let's not do it right now. You want to have that discussion? We'll have that
Anytime.
discussion.
So, this is really Elizabeth Warren, who failed her DNA test, is really first of all, she fabricated the quote with Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders never stated, and I have a lot of issues with Bernie Sanders nowadays, but he never stated that women couldn't win the election. That never happened. That is an impossibility. That never, ever, 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 ever happened. Now, Warren is taking things to the, an exponential, the nth degree. So Hot Mike catches, this is CBS Morning. Hot Mike catches tense exchange between Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders after debate. This is the type of thing that is single-handedly sinking Bernie's campaign right before Iowa. Right before Iowa. Then you get CNN. Look, CNN was a part of everything. CNN is the basically the extension, along with MSNBC, of the Democratic Party. And it always was. This is the same tactic they use against Trump. This is the same underhanded, duplicitous, disingenuous tactic. They've used this against Bernie Sanders. He's not going to rebound from this, even though he's being completely railroaded, completely sabotaged. And Elizabeth Warren first of all, President Obama not only stated twice through Messina, his campaign manager, and once through Politico, that he would never allow Bernie Sanders. So President Obama stated Bernie's not going to win, that he can't win, that he would intervene if Bernie got close. But Elizabeth Warren, when they wanted her Medicare for All plan, she just coincidentally didn't have the numbers. Then she ran. Why didn't she run in 2016? Why? So she's running now. Why would you vote for Bernie Sanders if you could have the real? Why would you vote for Elizabeth Warren if you could have the real thing in Bernie Sanders? Bernie Sanders, to his credit, Warren paved the way somewhat. She did for Bernie Sanders, okay, but her contribution was minimal. In 2014, she had a standoff with President Obama regarding Wall Street and an omnibus bill. And so that kind of paved the way a little bit for Bernie Sanders. But Bernie Sanders, he took the heat. My articles were going viral in The Hill, The Huffington Post, and Salon. And the reason they were going viral, and I'm talking about a lot of times hundreds of thousands of Facebook likes and shares, hundreds of thousands. And one article was like 800,000. The reason is because nobody was saying the things that I was saying. Now you have people who've convinced themselves that Bernie Sanders could win because it's going to be fair. None of this is fair. Elizabeth Warren is essentially a political operative, and that's not an understatement. She knows she's not going to become president. She failed a DNA test. That in and of itself is an issue. She failed her DNA test. How do you fail a DNA test? And she pretended to be of a different heritage to gain to gain entrance into different places. So that's been used. Even the Senate race in Boston, when she first became senator. This is all public record knowledge. Bernie Sanders' campaign is done. He cannot rebound from this because the people on the left, the I'm with her crowd, there's the I'm with her crowd to the right of him, and there are feminists and there are anarchists and there are socialists to the left of him, and identity politics people. So the people to the left of him, the people to the right of him, left of center, are utilizing this as if it was gospel, as if it was set in stone, as if it was accurate. Bernie Sanders never said what he never, ever, ever stated that. So here, what Warren is accusing him. So exclusive, Warren accused Sanders' intense post-debate of exchange of calling her a liar on national TV. She only lied about like 10 different things. The major ones being the DNA test and being fired because of a certain reason, a whole bunch of things. But here, in a tense and dramatic exchange in the moments after the Democratic debate Tuesday, Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders are calling. Elizabeth Warren accused Bernie Sanders of calling her a liar on national television. And he's like, I don't want to get into it now. And she's like, you called me a liar. You heard the exchange. I think you called me a liar on national television. Warren could be heard saying, what? I think you called me a liar on national television. A spokesperson for Sanders' campaign declined to comment on the audio. Now you have, the conversation was not captured in the primary audio feed. Well, of course, CNN publicizes it. Why? Because CNN is there. So it doesn't really say I think they're speaking directly about the quote, the fabricated quote, where Bernie Sanders denies that he said it, which he never said it. But Bernie Sanders has already gotten in bed with Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Hillary Clinton, who's going to be the nominee. This is all surreal. I never imagined they'd stoop this low. I mean, every day of my life, I tell somebody, whether it's on YouTube or somebody anywhere, hey, how you doing? DNC is corrupt. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, that mocha latte. A double shot espresso. Yeah, DNC is corrupt. Yeah. What's your name? DNC is corrupt. Yeah. Put that name. That's my name. Starbucks. But I never thought that. I never thought this would happen. This has thrown me for a loop. I don't care, really. I can't lie. I do care a little bit. Not because I'm a Trump supporter. I'm voting for President Trump. It hurts to see Bernie Sanders as a human being suffer, but this is just the beginning, unfortunately. The Democrats, see, if you're a Bernie supporter, here's a little, Trump is not your adversary. You know who your adversary is? The Democratic Party. And that's why Bernie will never win. That's why Bernie can't win now. See, before, I'm like complete opposite of the way I was in 2016. 2016, I didn't know the extent. If it was fair, he would have won the presidency. Thank God he didn't, because James Comey and Strzok and McCabe and Clapper and Brennan and all of these people would have run the show. Bill Kristol, Max Boot. You think Bernie Sanders is going to go up against Bill Kristol and Max Boot because Trump is? Trump's like, yeah, I want to bring home Americans. Yeah, remove them from Syria. Yeah, peace between North and South Korea. You think Bill Kristol and Max Boot wanted all of these things? No. These are neoconservative hawks that run the Democratic Party foreign policy. And then you get, the sidetrack here. Anyway, the bottom line is this. I hate to tell you, I don't want to be the messenger of bad news. Bernie Sanders' campaign is officially done. Warren officially ended it. Now, I stated the other day when all this happened that his campaign is over. Now it's really over because this is the beginning. They're going to go to his essay next. Now you have Elizabeth Warren making an issue of this. She's not letting it go. Do you understand? She's not letting it go. Now it's a real feud. Now they're going to brand him as something. Bernie Sanders is not a sexist. He never was. But they're going to, and then they might even try to brand him as a racist. And then, because you already have people to the left of Bernie Sanders calling him a racist. For whatever reason. The left is completely unhinged. And Bernie never fought back in 2016. Now he's getting all the slings and all the arrows and knives and political dirty, underhanded, disingenuous, really nasty. This is surreal. This is even more corrupt than I ever imagined. Give me your thoughts below. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel right now. Trump fights. Just letting everyone who's wondering. It's interesting seeing people like say, I can't believe the DNC would do this. Yeah, they would. Read the DNC emails. The Russians didn't write them. Read the campaign emails. The Russians didn't write them. The ODNI and DHS reports don't even have they have warranty disclaimers. Those are below in the description section. This is the most insidious, nefarious thing I've ever seen in my life. One of the most. And guess what? They used these dirty tactics against Trump, and you were okay with them if you were on the left, weren't you? But you're not okay with them now. If you're a pundit running for Congress, you were okay with them when it was Trump, weren't you? But you're not okay with them when it's leveled at you. You get in bed. If you live by gossip and hearsay, you're going to perish by gossip and hearsay. And that's not just in politics, that's in life. You live your life listening to gossip and hearsay and innuendo and conjecture. Hey, did you see Bernie? Yeah, you heard what Bernie said? Yeah, he said this according to Elizabeth Warren. How many times? Endless times. Unknown sources, sources familiar with the matter. That's not journalism. That used to happen once in a long while. Now it's always unnamed sources. It got so bad one time, there was actually a paragraph, a CNN, they probably changed it or deleted the post, but it was a CNN article where they said unnamed sources, and they alluded to anonymous sources like 5 times within the paragraph. It was like absurd. Like it was like unnamed sources say unnamed sources think that unnamed sources. It was like, what? Why don't you just say we're making it up? If you want to believe it, believe it. Bernie Sanders had no problem going after Trump with this tactic, and now it's being utilized against him. And everyone's going to fall in line. And even the people who were cheated again. They are cheating you again. Even worse than 2016 Bernie voters. Here, I say this with all due respect. You are being cheated even worse in a more overt, sinister manner. You decide, you want to vote Democrat, that's on you. Okay? I'm voting Trump. He fights. He wants to bring home Americans. 5 million people lifted out of poverty. Okay? Record low unemployment. That Project Veritas video with the gentleman who was talking about gulags, and it's like, what? No, read Alexander Solzhenitsyn, The Gulag Archipelago. And also, working class people want to work. Thank God Trump. Okay, the working class voters in general, of all backgrounds, not just one background, not just the background of everybody on that debate stage. Dem so white. Working class voters of all backgrounds, working class people of all backgrounds want to work. They want wealth. They want to generate wealth for their families. The Trump economy has done that. Household median income is up. So this new world of Bernie Sanders supporters should look at the St. Louis Fed. People are making more money. Unemployment is at a record low. For Black and Latino citizens. For Hispanic and Latino men, the unemployment rate is below the national average. This isn't Trump's economy. So don't talk about look. I can't even say the word, but that time period in world history, and you want to talk about historical appropriation. That time period in world history didn't have prison reform legislation. It was the opposite. Trump signed the first step back. We can go on forever. Look, you know what? Vote Democrat. No. You know what? The Democrats cheat Bernie Sanders. It's Trump's fault. Blame Trump. You go blame Trump. Yeah, it was Trump. It was the Orange Menace. They're playing you like you cannot believe. They will never, ever let Bernie Sanders win because Democrats are the adversary of every Bernie voter. It's not Trump. It's certainly not Trump. And everything you've heard about Trump has been an absolute deceptive, manipulative lie. And it's the same kind of lie that Elizabeth Warren is spreading about Bernie Sanders. Give me your thoughts below. I know that there are many people, but the people who really are into Bernie, they're not watching my channel, which is fine. But if you used to be a Bernie supporter, used to be on the left, you're very likely also watching my channel sometimes. Mainly Trump supporters who watch my channel. God bless you. Thank you. I'm a Trump supporter. But there are a lot of people like me who became a Trump supporter. A great many people, because there's a big overlap. Trans-Pacific Partnership, great economy, foreign policy, big overlap. Give me your thoughts below. They're cheating Bernie again in the most disgusting, nauseating way. And it's even surprising me. Give me your thoughts. His campaign is essentially done. Give me your thoughts. Thank you.